They're exposing themselves, cursing people out, threatening to fight people. It's amazing. But again, all these things stem from the lack of value. So what do we do here in this court? I mean, for those of you who have been here, you know it's very serious with us. We call ourselves cycle breakers. That means we're trying to break these negative cycles. We're trying to break the things that are repetitive in our community. So what we do is we're trying to get you to raise the bar. Raise the bar of how you act. Raise the bar of what you expect, our expectations, and of what we accept. Because basically, if we raise the bar, we're only going to accept certain things in our community. So when we see young men walking down the street, pants sagging, smoking weed, cursing loud, disrespecting older generations, we're going to say something. I will commend the Oppressed People's Nation on the fact that they have a new location. It's a storefront. So they're able to kind of interact with young people as they walk down the street. And I've witnessed it, where they'll call them over and talk to them. But those are the things we have to do. We have to raise the bar so that the people in our community start acting in a different way. And once we do this, then that's when we can demand the respect that we want from this legal system. I know you're all wondering, what does this have to do with what happened? This has a lot to do with what happened. Because, and I know we may get into it a little later, but the bottom line is if we don't value ourselves, then we can't expect anybody else to put that type of value on us. So what's important is because what you value, you protect. So if you value your relationships with a certain person, you protect that. If you value your car, you go park your car way out on the edge at the mall so no one hits it. Whatever you value, you protect. So when we start valuing ourselves, then we're going to protect ourselves. We're going to protect our image. We're going to protect our family. We're going to protect how we are perceived in the larger community. So that's why raising the bar is important. So here's the understanding on how to raise the bar. And this is how it goes. Sources like the media, music, television, they transmit ideas through words and images, right? So we're watching TV, we're listening to the music, like I said about the young people. And these words and images are playing in their minds. And for most of us, as we're listening to them, these words and images are becoming our thoughts and our ideas. So you're thinking that you're just listening to music, you're thinking that you're just watching these shows. It's actually putting thoughts and ideas in our mind. The next step is ideas conceived become our beliefs. So when we start looking at these ideas and taking them in, we start believing these things. Whether it's the thought process that I'm a gangster, you start believing that, or that I can't get a job because X, Y, and Z, or I need to hustle and sell drugs and make money, or that I'm less than a woman based on some of the music that we listen to when we degrade our women and call them certain names. If we continue to listen to those thoughts and ideas, they become our beliefs. The thing is, when we have beliefs, they eventually become our convictions. I believe this, and then you get strong behind it. This is what I believe, and you're willing to do things about that. You're convicted to that. And then we have convictions that become our philosophies. So now all of a sudden, if we're of the conviction that, it's all about money, cash, and hoes, how the lyric goes. If that's how you believe, if that becomes your conviction, that's your philosophy. So when you're out kicking it, that's all you're thinking. Money, cash, hoes. What can I do? How can I get some money, cash, hoes? So our convictions become our philosophies. Our philosophies become our lifestyle, right? So when you have the philosophy of the rap music and that culture, then even if you didn't sag or you don't like to sag, all of a sudden you start wearing that sag a little bit because that's part of your lifestyle. So the philosophies become your lifestyle, and then your lifestyle determines your destiny. And that's the issue. The issue is that our destiny is determined by our lifestyle. So if you conduct yourself in a certain way, your destiny is going to lead you to a certain way. The reason that we're here, the reason that I do this program is because basically in our community we see a lifestyle that ends up with people negatively interacting with the legal system. Whether they are in jail, doing serious time, or coming before me, lifestyles indicate where your destiny is going to be. Oftentimes when we go into the schools, and we did this the other week, Beth Sanders and I can identify the young men and women who are going to be in the legal system. I've been doing this long enough that I can look at a young man and say, you know what, I'll probably see you in about 4 or 5 years in my court. Just based on his lifestyle, just based on his swag, just based on his responses to my answers, just based on the fact that he's in school and doesn't have a piece of paper or pencil. So lifestyles indicate what your destiny is going to be. And then remember, the lifestyles are based on your philosophies, your convictions, and your beliefs. So remember, your beliefs and your convictions are important. And then your ideologies are really coming from the ideas that are going in your head from the sources. So that's all to say. In reality, it boils down to this. if we want to stop the things that are happening in our community that we don't agree with, yes, we need those who are going to make a noise and make the justice system answer for the various injustices. We need those people. But at the same time, my mission, I believe, is to come from this perspective, where I'm feeding you with the ideas and the philosophies on how to better your life. Because we can fight the system, and it needs to be done in a lot of places, but at the same time, we have to change our behavior. We really do. And you know, there's so many ways we can get into the details of the Trayvon Martin situation and even talk about things that the jury couldn't see, that the jury couldn't find out, things that indicated that, you know, he had the normal lifestyle like many of us. But what I would submit to you is that we have to do better. There's no excuse for what happened to him at all, no excuse at all. But at the same time, I think for us, as opposed to taking the position that, you know what, I'm demanding value, you know, you're gonna have to answer to me, this is wrong. What I would tell my son is, you need to be defensive in how you act. That's just the bottom line. In today's time, you have to be defensive. So what I would tell my son is, when you're pulled over by the police, you gotta put your hands out the window. You know, make sure you make that police understand that you're not a threat at all. You know, turn off the car, have your license and insurance ready. Don't grab for it though. Wait till he comes to the car, gives you permission to grab for it. I mean, yeah, it's an extra burden, but it'll keep my son from getting extra charges or from being, quote unquote, harassed or abused by police officers. That's just the bottom line. So I tell people all the time, as a judge, I'm more concerned about your safety. I'm more concerned about you surviving. I'll leave it to my brother right there, and he does a great job. He's gonna be the one that's gonna keep the legal system in check. And he's gonna challenge the system, which needs to be done. My position is, what can I do to make sure that you live to see another day? And we see that in our courtroom all the time. People always say, you know what, I'm a man, the police officers are going to respect me, I'm going to get respect on the streets because I'm a man. And then my question is, if you are a dead man, then how much respect do you have at that point? What did you gain from that? Is your life worth the respect that you feel you need to get? So that's the key here, and that's why we do this program. And for the rest of the program, I'm going to invite my panel, my group, my team.